Peace, 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 love, light, and healing, peace, love, light, and healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in, family. I told y'all I was gonna be live at 8. Well, I'm 14 minutes late, but we still here. Climb on in, climb on in. Let me turn these comments on. Once I get a few comments, once y'all let me know how I sound, and if y'all can see me well, we gonna go on, we gonna go in. Today we talking about let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Y'all know I'm a nutritional scientist. I love to research. I got my own laboratory. We love to test stuff, and I've been testing myself a lot lately. So we gonna go in. For those that hear me that say I sound different, y'all know I had that jaw surgery where they came and they took all that metal out of my jaw. From when I had my jaw shattered when I was 16, they had to literally replace a bunch of metal in my jaw lining, and they replaced it and put human bone in there. So I'm healing up. With that, they had to take out a lot of teeth. So I got these temps in right now. So with my jaw healing and with these temps, it kind of make me talk kind of weird, but hopefully y'all be able to still understand me good. If not, please forgive me. They said it's gonna take about 6 months for my mouth to fully heal, and then I can finally take the temps out, and then they can put what they really need to put in there. And everything I did, it is biocompatible with my DNA, and it is biocompatible with my biology. So we spent a lot of money to get it done, but I'm no longer leaking heavy metals from titanium and nickel into my bloodstream, which was harming my liver, by the way. So I feel good with that. We have now been on how many months now, B, of this solid food vacation? Nothing of the solid food since my surgery. About 4 months, y'all. Literally, I haven't been able to eat nothing solid, y'all. So I was working out. I was finally gaining my muscle. I done lost a lot of muscle. I'm down, y'all. I'm a little guy right now, but once they get these temps out and put what they need to put in, I'll be able to. I think I gotta wait like another month, then I'll be able to eat solid foods. But these temps is so soft, I can't eat nothing hard. So man, it's been difficult, but I've been getting through it. So I've been doing a lot of liquid fasting, eating a lot of applesauce, a lot of mushy foods, and I'm down about 145 now. So you know what I'm saying? I was at 154. That was a cool weight on me. I can see my definition, but I can't work out. They said I can't lift nothing heavy above my head. I can't have a lot of heavy pressure. I got to be careful in airplanes because of the pressure. It's a bunch of stuff to this, y'all. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. I feel 100% better. My liver feel better. I'm glad I got that metal out. The metal was leaking in me for 16 years. I really didn't know because I was always on these diets. But when I started eating that vegan processed food, that's when I noticed the heavy metal toxicity coming from my mouth. So, everything happened for a reason. But look, we here. We here. All right, so I see YouTube, I see Facebook. If y'all ready to get this started, type in some nines and we're gonna get it started. You look healthy. Thank you. I feel healthy. I've been doing super good, been eating good. I ain't worked out in about 2 months though, and that really bothered me because I usually go to the gym every single day. So, but I feel good though. I've been drained. I've been very, very drained because I'm still working. I'm still up, and I ain't been bringing in no substances for real. I still do my intravenous vitamin C's, my glutathione, and stuff like that. But the mouth pain is what really be getting me, and then I ain't been taking pain pills and stuff like that. And this hurts, y'all. Like it really be aching and hurting. Just even talking too much hurt. But I know I need to get on here and holler at y'all. All right, I'm gonna try my hardest to answer as many questions I can today. I know we ain't been live in a minute, so I'm gonna try to answer some questions. But I really just want to talk about this series that we've been shooting. I've been posting, most of I guess we can call them commercials of all of the healing testimonies, especially from the cancer. The series is called A World Without Disease, and it's basically a bunch of people that went through our herbal therapies, went through our clinical therapies, and went through our diet. Because I give everybody that come inside of my clinic a customized diet, and within about, I say, 30 to 90 days, they're completely healed from what they came in here for. I am not taking claim of the healing. I'm not saying that I'm a healer of anybody. I believe I'm a healer of my own body. Your body have the capability of healing itself if you can put it in the right environmental conditions and basically put it in what you would call an alkaline condition, and you stop bringing in the toxicities and you fix the deficiency problem, your body will heal itself. And all this boils down to energy. When you look at the body and you look at what the body was created for, the body was created to be a vehicle for consciousness to seat itself in and for you to experience reality. But in order for you to experience reality in this vehicle that we call a body, or what I'm going to call the avatar, you need a fuel source. And this fuel source is the energy. And what uses that fuel source is what you will call the mitochondria. And not only do the mitochondria use this fuel source, but the sun acts as a fuel source for us as well. And water acts as a fuel source. But the beautiful thing about the mitochondria, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is the mitochondria convert sunlight into fuel, and the mitochondria actually convert water, your H2O and your H3O2, into H3O, and that is actually used for this fuel called ATP, or what you'll call adenosine triphosphate. Same thing as oxygen. And when you look at oxygen, oxygen is a gas. So I think the more you start really looking at your body like a vehicle other than your consciousness, even though they're intermingled together, then you will be able to start taking care of it properly. Like I always talk, and I tell Nabi and I tell my children, just the people I'm with all the time, like your digestive system is your actual exhaust pipe. When you put fuel, or what you're going to call food, inside of your body, just imagine you putting fuel or gas inside of your gas tank. In order to burn that fuel, you need a combustion. This is friction. This is heat. A byproduct is going to be created from that combustion, and it's called carbon dioxide, and that goes out of the tailpipe. Same analogy is when you put food or fuel in your mouth and you chew it down, it goes through a combustion and heat, and it happens due to enzymic reactions by the pancreas and through hydrochloric acid in the stomach, the fungus of the stomach, and the body of the stomach. And then all of a sudden, all of that macro waste have to go through your tailpipe, or what you will call your digestive tract, and your colon, your large intestines, your ileum, your jejunum, and then you have to defecate it out in the toilet. Well, if we look at it from that analogy, when you talk about a vehicle or a car, there are specific vehicles and cars that take specific types of gas. So you will never catch anybody putting unleaded gas in a diesel truck, because the moment that you put unleaded gas in a diesel truck, yes, you might start it. You probably can get a mile in it, but then it will cut off, and it will literally mess up the pistons, and it'll mess up the fuel injectors inside of the diesel truck, because you have put the wrong fuel source inside of that vehicle. And you can do the same thing when it comes to humans. If we put the wrong fuel inside of our bodies, eventually we will get sluggish the same way a vehicle will get. And another thing is, when you talk about the oil, you have to keep your oil change. And a diesel truck is every 5 to 6 months. And a regular car is every 3 months, or every 3,000 miles. So even in a regular vehicle that you drive in, you have to constantly change the oil to make sure you're protecting the integrity of the car and make sure that it's running as efficiently as possible. The same thing happens to your body. You have to make sure that you keep your blood clean, because when you look at the blood and the purpose and the functionality of the blood is what brings in not only oxygen, which is so vital to energy. It's so vital to mitochondrial ATP production. It is so vital to iron phosphate. It's so vital to just cellular proliferation and cellular tissue plasticity. It is so vital for neurons to actually communicate with themselves. Oxygen is very, very vital, but oxygen is very volatile as well, because it's hostile if you don't have nothing to bind it to. But we're going to talk about that later. So when you look at the blood is how you literally truly breathe, because when you're breathing in oxygen from the atmosphere and from the environment, once it goes into the lungs and it goes to the alveoli, that's going to deliver it to the bloodstream. The blood takes this oxygen, then it binds itself with what you would call iron phosphate, and it goes throughout the body by way of iron phosphate and copper, which we're going to talk about later. Then what it does is, as it goes through the body and proliferate the tissues, the cellular tissues, what is using it inside the cellular tissues is the mitochondria. And the mitochondria need this oxygen to go through its 4 electron transport chains. And we always talk about the Krebs cycle. The first one is glycolysis. That's the splitting up of glucose or fructose. The second one is pyruvate, where pyruvate actually go through the Krebs cycle. And then the fourth cycle is actually when you get all of these different enzymic reactions like dismutase and catalase. And from that, oxygen is actually turned into water. See that? So your body is turning oxygen into water and carbon dioxide, and then boom, you have this energy that you can burn off. From all of those goodies that you bring in, whether we're talking about minerals, whether you're talking about carboxylic acid, whether you're talking about amino acid, whether you're talking about cations, anions, or just regular things that you bringing into your body, all these things are used to potentially be a fuel source. And there's no such thing as free energy. And I know y'all hate hearing it, but it ain't. Everything in this universe comes with a cost. So if you're going to be eating things and you're going to be burning things, there's going to be a byproduct. The byproduct of darkness was light. The byproduct of up is down. The byproduct of wide is narrow. The byproduct of beautiful is ugly. The byproduct of hot is what, y'all? Cold. The byproduct of summer is what? Winter. So you're going to get the parallel. You're going to always get the exact opposite in creation. By creating one thing, you automatically simultaneously create something else, which is a negative side. That's why it's called magnetism. You have the North Pole. You have the South Pole. You have the negative charge side of a magnetic field. You have the positive charge of a magnetic field. By creating something, you automatically create a byproduct. So when you eat food, automatically you're going to get this energy. In order to get this energy, you have to pay something. And what you have to pay is the byproduct. And that's what's causing us to be sick, because we don't have an elimination path for the byproduct. I don't care if you're eating fruits. I don't care if you're eating nothing but vegetables, or if you're eating processed foods. If your lymphatic system is not working and it can't take that byproduct, and you can't create an elimination pathway to get it out of the body, that byproduct is acidic in nature. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with acids. You have to have a balance, because you have amino acids that makes up the building blocks, that makes up your muscles, or what they call proteins. You have carboxylic acids that helps make up amino acids. Your stomach holds hydrochloric acids. You see what I'm saying? So we need these acids. They're very, very essential to life. But what happens is when you start knocking things out of the balance and your acid ratio is higher than your alkalinity ratio, now you start burning things because you're not eliminating the byproduct from you eating your foods. So since we have more acids in our body, essentially other than alkalinity in our body, if we're going to keep the blood out of it, because the blood must remain alkaline at a 7.45. So if we in the lymphatic system must remain alkaline as well, but it can take on an acid blow every now and then if what they call your immune system functionality is up, and that is your leukocytes, your monocytes, your lymphocytes, your neutrophils, your monophils, your basophils, your eosinophils. If these are high and they're in the lymphatic system and they're in exchanging and communicating with the blood well, you can take on an acid load. And that's the reason why we have so many people or couples that come to the clinic and the woman will have an STD, but the man won't have it. The woman will have it, but the man won't have it. And the woman wondering why she got it and the man don't have it. And it came from the man, but when the man get checked, he don't got it. Then you ask their diet and he be like, well, I changed my diet up. You know, even though he ain't let her know, which is pretty messed up, but I changed my diet up. So it shows when he started building up what they call the functioning or innate immune system, he was able to keep the acids in check. She didn't, so now she's feeling the acid blowback, and that's really what y'all be feeling when y'all be saying that y'all be it feels like you urinating razor blades. This is acidosis that's inside of the urinary tract. That's a buildup. That is a byproduct, and usually that byproduct does come from a parasite, which we'll talk about as well. And it's funny because we always want to blame the parasites, but the parasites is not the cause. The parasites is the effect. And when you look and you study parasites, which I study parasitology. When I say I study it, I study it. I look at through $100,000 microscope glass for hours. I have over 1,000 parasitology books where you really talk about parasites. So, you know, we didn't collected a bunch of them as well. So I love studying parasites. When you study them and you see how they move and what their purpose and what they do, they are there to eat trash. They're there to eat iron. They love iron. And that's how you know. If you got a parasite, you automatically can think, I am iron overload. And just because you check your blood, as I was talking about in Bobby Smith video, and it says that you are anemic, most of the time you're not anemic at all. You just or malfunction when it comes to iron regulation. And a lot of females suffer from that, where they have all of this iron built up in their livers and their body is not regulating it properly. See that? But if you go and get a deep tissue massage here at the clinic, or I'll put you on our acoustic lymphatic sound bed, and that machine massages you, and then I check your blood and I check your mineral content, guess what's going to pop back up? Your hemoglobin, your iron intake, your ferritin. Your ferritin transporting protein is going to go skyrocket because we got to massage the tissues, open up the cellular membranes, and let that iron actually get into the bloodstream. So what's happening is your adrenals are down, and we know that the adrenal glands, utilized with copper, is what actually utilize the minerals throughout of the body. But if your adrenal glands are fatigued because the actual mitochondria that's inside of the adrenal glands are injured or going through a malfunction, and they can't take oxygen and they can't take magnesium and copper and use it to turn these things into carbon dioxide, oxygen, then water to create ATP, then you're not firing off your pistons right. And if you don't fire off your pistons right, because you're suffering from acidosis and the lack of oxygen, or what they call hypoxia, then guess what? You don't get no energy. And that's what you base your sickness off of. First thing I'm asking you is, how do you feel? How do you feel? If you tell me that you're tired, if you tell me that you're adrenal dumping, you have high cortisol, you sleepy all the time, you sluggish, you forgetting things, you see that? You cold all the time. First thing I'm going to think about is the fuel source. Oh, you're not converting fuel over into electricity. That's the problem. And then you got to find out where's the blockage of that energy is at. And it's always two things, which I talk about in my book and which I tell y'all all the time. It is either a deficiency or what, y'all? Toxicity. These are the two things. And these deficiencies and these toxicities brings on congestion. Congestion is when your cells are blocked and you do not have a elimination pathway of toxins, of byproduct, of recycled cells, because cells die. They're on a autophagy timeline. They're actually on, you have biological clocks that's called the circadian rhythmic frequency within inside the body, where every cell have a time that it died, and then it has a time where it actually, what, y'all? It recycles. Just right now, I'm speaking to y'all, we've been live for about 20 minutes. I have lost over 100 million mitochondria. Over 100 million. There's trillions and trillions of them in us, especially in the brain, tens of millions. The adrenals, millions. Inside of each cell, hundreds and thousands. So without these mitochondria, these cyanobacteria, which are blue, by the way, blue purplish, and that's why when you look at them and you see sunlight and you start looking at the spectrums of the sun, it'll show you what minerals that you need to charge what. So when you look at the blue light from the sun, which is early morning, and when the sun is at its highest in the sky, that charges iron phosphate. Then when the sun is going down, or when it's on the horizon coming up, that is red light. That charges what? Copper. That's why when you look at iron under a microscope, it shows up blue. When you look at copper under a microscope, electronic microscope, it turns what? It looks red. Then you start studying the frequencies. Sunlight have the same frequencies as certain minerals and crystallines that's in your body. And that's why the sun is so essential to the body. But a lot of us are sun deficient. Remember, it's only two things that causes what we call disease, or what I'm going to call a detoxification response. And that is deficiency and toxicity. Think about how deficient in sunlight we are. We always in brick buildings and brick and mortars. We're scared to go outside. If we outside, we complain. We say it's too hot. We're wearing the wrong fabrics that have reflective fabric content in it, which means it reflects the sunlight. It doesn't absorb the sunlight. And guess what? You only got 3 fabrics that really absorb sunlight. That's cotton, that's linen, and that's wool. That's what is going to absorb sunlight. Any other things, or these synthetic type of minerals like cotton, fabrics like polyester and nylon and things like that, that reflects the sunlight. The sunlight come to you instead of your melanin eating it, and you are helping create a hormone called vitamin D by way of cholesterol. You're reflecting that sunlight back into the atmosphere, and you're not getting none of the benefits from these sunlight spectrums. See that? So you deficient in sunlight because you're wearing the wrong clothes. You deficient in sunlight because you're not in the sun long enough. Especially the darker the melanin pigments you have, the longer you need to be in the sunlight, because you need to eat more sun. You see that? You work in a 9 to 5, you in cubicles away from the sunlight. Then on your break, instead of you eating something that that the sun ate, like grapes and fruits and melons and berries. You're going to eat things that the sun didn't really absorb. Then you're around radiation all day. You're on a computer. You're on your phone. Your phone is in your pocket. Your phone is next to your head. You're wearing Bluetooths all day. This messing it blocks up the frequencies and the rays that come from the sun too. And I can show y'all articles that prove these things. So when we talking about sunlight deficiency, we are very, very deficient in the sunlight. And guess how you fix this, y'all? Just get you 2 hours of sunlight a day, no matter what. 2 hours of sunlight a day. All right. So we're sunlight deficient. Next thing is we're oxygen deficient. Because think about all the toxemia, all of the environmental pollutants that's in the air. The best thing you can do is get an air cleaner or get air purifying plants. Put them in your house. Put them in your house. Move to certain communities that's close to parks and gardens that has a bunch of trees around them. But you can actually breathe in that oxygen and breathe out that carbon dioxide and give that back to the trees. For the trees can breathe it back in, and it will please them to breathe out or exhale that oxygen and give it back to you. When you look at oxygen, we are supposed to be breathing in 21%. That's what we said, 21%, 21 ATA percent, right? In America, since there is so much environmental pollutants from emissions, from greenhouse gases, from the tailpipes and burning fuels, from HARP, from chemtrails and comtrails, from the airplanes, from the railroads, from the burning of oils, from the burning of carbon, from the forest, the fires, from everything that's been going on. Guess what? In America, I'm going to start with the lowest. Do you know some parts in America is only breathing in 12% oxygen? 12%. The highest you can go without a machine, and I'm going to talk about the machines, is 21%. There are some parts in America where you're breathing in 12% oxygen. Did you know that all your so-called disease is a deficiency in oxygen? All of them? You can't show me one, not one, and prove it scientifically, prove it with actual evidential facts. It's all oxygen deficiency. And when your cells or the mitochondria suffocate, they can't use oxygen for this last conversion over into ATP, which means you don't get no energy. But we don't talk about air purifiers. We don't talk about air purifying plants that you can put around the house. We don't talk about planting trees and planting plants outside and gardening. We don't talk about hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which I love. I love hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I get in the hyperbaric chamber as much as possible to breathe in 100% oxygen while the body is under pressure. That way, it'll open up the blood cells, and I get to dump all this oxygen into my plasma. My blood cells, the body can't, they don't even need to take that. It's going to go straight to the plasma, and it's going to diffuse, and it's going to really go and absorb inside of all of my cells, and my mitochondria can now use their fuel to go through its 4 to 5 steps of the respiratory chain, where I can create adenosine triphosphate and not the discharge phosphate, which is adenosine diphosphate. See that go through an anaerobic route. You need bacteria. You need deep fermentations of sugars, which create lactic acid. This lactic acid builds up, burn like hell. Go work out right now. Go get a 50-pound weight dumbbell and curl it 50 times. After you curl it 50 times, try to curl it another 50 times. That burning sensation you feel is called yielding energy. It yields so fast because it can't go the anaerobic weight because you need energy now to do another set. So what happens is bacteria and lactic acid is built up within the muscle tissues along with piezoelectricity, which we can talk about in a minute. And you ferment sugar so fast that you build up a byproduct from fermenting that sugar, that glucose, because you needed energy. So in order to use glucose super fast, it's going to say, all right, I'm gonna yield you energy. I'm going to give you enough energy to do these other reps, but it's going to burn. And you've never even thought about, like, damn, this burn is really acidosis, lactic acid, which is a byproduct of fermented sugar. And that's why when you look at cancer, guess what cancer is full of? Lactic acid. Lactic acid. Look, did y'all know a cancer cell needs 17,000 times of glucose than a regular healthy cell? Let me say that again. A cancer cell utilizes 17,000 more molecules of glucose than a healthy cell. Now imagine that, because it needs to go through angiogenesis. It needs to grow new blood vessels to get blood there, right? So it hijacks the actual blood vessels, creates its own, pull all the sugar from the body, and it's going to give you a hell of a sugar craving too. So it's going to make you want to eat more sugar, and it uses that for its own cellular proliferation, right? Now, why it's using it for that, it's sucking up all this glucose. Guess what it does? It creates a boatload of lactic acid. That's why cancer hurts so much. That's why it burns so bad. That's why they be in pain. We have a lot of clients that come here to the clinic like, look, I don't want to take no pain meds, but I need something. What do you think about marijuana this? What do you think about this? I heard about these. I heard about that, because they feeling that burning sensation from that overload of lactic acid that came from that overload of metabolic changes of glucose. You see that? Now, let me show you how it works. So since it's so much, the liver be like, damn, let me grab this lactic acid and turn it back into glucose. And that's what it does, because the liver, I got a chapter in my book called man, it's so deep. I should read it to y'all. And it's talking about the liver. It shows how intelligent and how spiritual the liver is, and how the liver have the capability of taking any molecule, literally breaking it down and reconstructing it to any molecule that you need. No other organ on earth does nothing like this. The liver is so out of this world. It's like the liver and the mitochondria are their own aliens, a part of our vehicles. They shouldn't even be here. The way the liver move and work proves God, because it does things that you cannot even scientifically explain. Like to be able to take a protein and then break it down into glucose, then take this same glucose, build it back up to proteins, turn it into a hormone if you need it, and then double step it down and turn it into enzymic reaction. I mean, I don't know nothing else that do it. And they got actual names for this one. One is called glucosamines or glycogens. And it literally means how the liver have the capability to use the sugars to make proteins to give to the body. The liver can actually take a toxin, a byproduct of a toxin, and turn it into a healing mechanism. For instance, if you are not utilizing iron properly, and I don't believe in iron anemia, it's a total crock, just like I don't believe in high cholesterol. But I mean, you can see it on the blood work. It will say your cholesterol high, but if you look at cholesterol, is there to heal you. Same thing as iron dysregulation. So if somebody go get their blood work from us, and it comes back and it shows that they're iron deficient, I'm gonna automatically say you're not iron deficient, you're copper deficient, and you don't have the ability to regulate your iron because your adrenals are down, right? The first thing I'm gonna check is their liver enzymes. I'm gonna check their ALT, the AST. I'm going to check their full lipid panel. I'm going to look at their total cholesterol, their LDL, their HDL. I'm going to look at all of that, right? I'm going to look at their AFP. I'm going to look at all of their levels. And from there, I can actually tell you if the liver is fatty or not, or if it's converting more sugar or storing more sugar than most. Then guess what I'm going to check? The bilirubin level. And the reason why I check the bilirubin level is because when the bilirubin is high, that means that the body is in a high detoxification state. Bilirubin is what makes you jaundice. It gives the body this yellow hue because it's actually golden. So it'll get the body and the eyes this yellow hue, or it'll give your skin and your palms and your feet, the bottom of your feet, this yellow hue. If you go to the doctor, they will say that your liver is compromised or that your liver is failing, and the heme is breaking down into bilirubin, and you're not regulating the bilirubin correctly. So my question would be, if I'm not regulating the bilirubin correctly, then how the hell did it get around my body to the point where you can see it in my skin, you can see it in my feet, you can see it in my palms of my hands, and you can see it in my eyes? That means I'm regulating it. And then if you look at the actual properties to bilirubin, because bilirubin is a precursor of something called biliverdin. Did you know biliverdin and bilirubin are these pigments that have a bunch of healing properties? There is, other than glutathione and melanin, there is nothing more antioxidant than bilirubin. One of your top 3 antioxidant, not pro-oxidant like iron phosphate, but antioxidant molecules is bilirubin. Anti-mutagenic, meaning it doesn't cause mutation. Guess what? Anti-mutation. bilirubin. You see that? Anti-inflammatory. Guess what that is? Jaundice, bilirubin. So when you see somebody that's jaundiced, when you see somebody's body that's full of these yellow pigmentations, don't think liver failure. It's all about how you looking at healing, y'all. I'm telling you. You looking at it wrong because you've been taught wrong by the allopathic community. That's the body attempting to detoxify itself. Guess what you find rolling around in bilirubin? Guess what you find? Cholesterol, heme groups, broken down heme groups, iron phosphate with a bunch of oxygen in it, copper, which is what the body needs. You see that? High antioxidant. You see that? And guess what else do you find? T cells, B cells, macrophages. The whole lymphatic response is up in there. So if this is my liver failing, then why is this response so healing to the body? See, but what we meet the crossroads at is we start taking medicines and drugs that come with crazy side effects that's going to harm the liver more anyway. And then we never fix the deficiency and the toxicity problem. And since we don't fix the deficiency and the toxicity problem, then you end up having complications and dying. So you blame it on liver failure. And then you automatically associate the liver failure with the bilirubin levels and with the jaundice when they was trying to help you in the first place. So if we change our perspective and we start looking at all of these symptomologies in our bodies as a warning sign to help the body detoxify, you will get a lot more healing results like we get here at Dr. Yahki Health and Wellness Detoxification Facility. We've been putting out so many videos, y'all. I mean, you can't hide it no more. We used to put out a bunch of healing testimonies back then, but we started taking them down because we started getting threats. They started taking down our sites. What else they was doing, Nabi? They was following us around, doing all types of crazy stuff. You know, and then I had a dream probably about 2 months ago, and the creator told me hide no more. It said no more. Hide no more. You know, you putting all this stuff up on a Rumble account. You hiding the healing testimonies. I didn't give you this gift for you to be a facilitator of healing, not a healer, because the true healer is you. Because you are a reflection of God, and God have the capability of healing oneself. So it said, look, start posting this. What comes of it, comes of it. But I put you here to do a specific purpose and duty. Quit hiding the power of God. Because for a minute because I was too worried about the platforms. I didn't want the platforms to take me down and how I'm going to get the message out there. But it's like, look, we in 2025. You got to stand on something, and you got to be very, very strong on what you stand on. Say what you mean what you say. You ain't got to be on here saying white devil and all of that crazy stuff, but you still can show the power of the creator. And these testimonies prove it. I mean, cancer after cancer after cancer, herpes after herpes after herpes, so many diseases that they say are incurable, but then you put them back on the diet or the living of God. And you take them back to nature and you get them away from processed foods. You get them in sunlight. You increase their oxygen intake. You get them grounded. You introduce them to magnetism, the negative side and the positive side. And you put some love and you put some hydration in their life. Hey, things been turning around. Now, are we able to help save everybody? Unfortunately, I hate it. No, because sometimes it just is what it is. And, you know, we don't dictate who live or die. Sometimes I wish I could, man, because I'd be hurting when some of our people leave. You know, just moment of silence for Alexis, y'all. I want everybody to bow their heads. We lost a beautiful, beautiful, intelligent, passionate soul 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? And I've been hurting over it. You know, I really been hurting over it. And just not understanding why my scientific mind keep trying to click in and dang, what did the doctors do wrong? What did they do when she was in that hospital? Every scientific possibility I didn't try to exercise, and I still can't come up with the why. And I think this is God showing me, like, you don't know everything. Sometimes I needed her more than y'all needed her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning to still deal with stuff like that too. And this is the reason why I try my hardest to keep it real professional, but it's hard to keep it super professional, you know, with your clients, because they family, and you meet mamas and you meet children, you meet their husbands, you meet their wives, and, you know, everything just feels so so personal and so connected. You end up checking on them. Now you on the phone with them for 30 minutes and y'all was talking about health, but now y'all talking about careers and what you doing in your life. You talking about spirituality. So you start growing these relationships and then boom, the creator take them for whatever reason is, and then you just be having a bunch of questions. And I noticed that some of these questions, you don't have a scientific answer. And I've been dealing with that this last 2 days, trying to think about a scientific answer or somebody to blame. And it's like it ain't really nobody to blame. Some things just happen. So, just being a little transparent with y'all. So look, hey, a moment of silence for Alexis, y'all. Bow our heads, not be. May the Most High rest your soul. All right, we back, y'all. We back. Yeah, so just thinking about that, y'all. Just, man, there's been a lot going on, y'all. I ain't been getting no sleep. Y'all see how my eyes look. I've been tired and everything. Just been up and working, and fasting. And, I can't eat nothing hard. Barely talking. Man, it's just been crazy. So y'all pray for me as well. Keep me in y'all prayers. Keep me in y'all affirmations, y'all. But look, we're going to get the job done. This going to go forth with or without y'all or with or without me. That's the beautiful thing about the cosmic arrangement and about the creation. It's going to go forth whether I'm doing it or not, or whether you listening or not. There's going to always be a person doing, and there's going to always be a person listening. So y'all got any questions? Any questions whatsoever? Yeah, shouts out to Alexis, man. Beautiful, beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. Any questions? Because I can get on here and ramble on. Yes, y'all. Look, I tell y'all all the time, toxicity and deficiency is what brings on disease. He don't look healthy. I bet you $10,000 my blood work look way better than yours right now. Right now. Matter of fact, you can come to the clinic, 2402 North Highway 67. We can check our bloods on the spot. I bet you mine look better than yours. Y'all got to quit equivalating weight loss to sickness. I've been fasting for months, y'all. Fasting. Of course I'm going to lose weight. Of course. I made it live. Yes, you made it live. All right, let's see. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to get some. All right, this one says, do you offer healing retreats? Yes, we do. We just got the healing home ready. The healing home is actually connected to my farm. The farm sits on 10 acres. I renovated the whole entire house. We got kitchen downstairs, kitchen upstairs, bedrooms in the bathrooms. It's beautiful. So that should be up and running in about 2 months. And then we purchased a school as well. And on one side of the school, we're going to turn them into like dorm rooms, and we're going to create them as healing rooms as well. So I think that's going to be beautiful. So yes, we do. And I was thinking about hooking up with Mama Makeda out in San Diego and doing a healing retreat with her for about a week. So it's coming up. Just make sure that y'all stay locked in. In fact, let me just pull up something for y'all to show y'all how to really keep in touch with me. And how you keep in touch with me is right here. Boom. Is it working? So this is my website. It's www.YahkiAwakened.com. If you actually look at it, you can scroll up and down. If you click on the hamburger sign, this is where you buy herbs at, Geo'Genetics, add-ons, Gorilla Mix, literature. Literature is where I'm selling my book at. The 3 bitters, capsules, tinctures, hygiene, tonics, kits and bundles, powders, all of that. Only on www.YahkiAwakened.com. I do not sell herbs anywhere else, only from the website. From the same website, you can actually visit our clinic. This is the clinic. If it don't take you to this from the site, it's not me. And if you look, you can see the clinic. This is me. You can book your availability here. I did open up the schedule last night. They might have booked all of them up, but go in there and check us out. But yeah, this is the site, y'all. You can go back here. You can even go to events. Events will show you what we got coming up. That'll be filled tonight because we are going to be in San Diego. We're going to be in Sacramento. We're going to be in Atlanta. And we're going to be in Detroit. So you hit on events. Accept it. Look, events. Any events I got going on is on this site. Everything and how to reach me is through www.yahkiawakened.com. If they are asking you to send them money anywhere, I promise you it is not me. If they asking you to go to a website that's outside of www.yahkiawakened.com, I promise you it's not me. If they saying follow me on Telegram, I don't have a Telegram. If they saying follow me on TikTok, I don't have a TikTok. They ban me. They say follow me on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. They ban me. All of my pages have blue check pages, except for a backup business page, and I'll show y'all that page too, which is on Facebook. Let me show y'all that real quick, and y'all can follow my Facebook. Let me share it with y'all again. See that? This is my actual page. Let me blow it up. Y'all see that? Yahki, Dr. Yahki Rapha Elohim Store and Clinic. It got 378K followers. This is actually my page, y'all. A lot of y'all be on here like, this is a fake page. No, I'm just on the waiting list. That's all. They won't accept it. And then my main page is this right here. This is my main page, which is blue checked. Y'all see the blue check right there? And I got 232K followers on there. 232,000. All right, so that's me. I hope that helped y'all out. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's going to be a blue check. All right. Let's see what more y'all got. All right, we got another one. This one says, how do you heal from epilepsy and seizures? The first thing I would do if I had epilepsy and I suffer from seizures, I would do a very, very, very low glycemic index diet intake. This is where I would say that plant-based ketogenic diets, it comes into, it's do amazing wonders to your body. First thing you need to do, Lovely J, check your mouth, check your teeth. Make sure that you don't have any caries, any cavitations, or you don't have any root canals or any of those mercury fillings in your mouth. Check your mouth. That's what I would do first. Once you fix your mouth problem, then you need to change your diet. I would do a very, very, very low glycemic index fruit and vegetable diet, meaning I wouldn't be eating anything like bananas because they are high in sugars, very high in sugars. I would take hold of a berry diet, which is high in antioxidants, strawberries, mulberries, blueberries, blackberries, saw palmetto berries. Like I would be on a high berry diet. And, your melons too. But make sure that your melons are not super, super ripe when you eat them. And then you need to be on vegetables. Vegetables that's high in sulforaphane. These are your sulfuric content. And that's the cruciferous family, or what they call the brassica family. I eat a lot of those. And what I would do is I would get me a glucose monitor. And I will make sure that I'm not glycating, but I'm going through glycolysis, or glycosylation, should I say. See, glycating is when you 80 and above. I want to keep you between 60 and 80, or 60 and 90 is cool. When you get into 90, you pushing it for real. Because 90 on up, 90 to 105, they call that pre. Glucose is staying inside your blood too long because you are becoming insulin resistant. 105 is up, you are most definitely glycating. Glycation causes seizure, and glycation definitely causes epilepsy. Y'all think I'm lying? Just pull up the papers. So the best thing that you can really do is, I would say, go on a plant-based ketogenic diet. And these are fruits and vegetables that's high in fats and low in sugar content. Now, everybody have a different healing situation. I've been hearing a lot of people saying, Yahki is not pushing fruits anymore. Any interview you ever hear me talk about, I always push fruits first. But what we've been noticing is a bunch of people have fatty liver. I had fatty liver. When you have that fatty liver, you can't juice your fruits. These are facts, because it makes the fatty liver worse. Because fructose goes the lipid route. It goes straight to the liver. Glucose goes the pancreatic route. It goes straight to the pancreas. The pancreas yields insulin, acts as a key mechanism to unlock the cell, but glucose can dump it to the cell, and the body can use that glucose to break it down into fructose. Then that fructose is breaking down into pyruvate. Then that pyruvate is actually used as a water molecule. Carbon dioxide get converted into water. Then you use it for ATP. So when you have fatty liver, and I'm not saying diabetes, I'm saying fatty liver, I don't suggest that you juice your fruits, juice your vegetables, and eat your fruits whole. But if you come to me and we check your liver and you don't have a fatty liver, juice away. Juices healed it healed me. 120 days, I healed myself. You see that? So I'm not knocking juices at all. I'm not knocking fruit at all. I am a frugivore right now. I'm a frugivore right now. Why y'all think I dropped all that weight? This is what happens when you're on a frugivore diet. This is what happened. This is a small shirt. Frugivore diet. No stomach whatsoever. On a frugivore diet. So fruits saved my life. But guess what I'm not finna do? I'm not finna do fruit juice because my liver was fatty. My liver was fatty. So I can't do fruit juice. Now I will do the Dr. Yahki Geo'Genetic juice where I mix my green apples and stuff like that. But when you look at the glycemic index and the glucose load or the glycemic load, they're very low. So, you can, if you have fatty liver, you definitely can do my green juice, my Geo'Genetic green juice. That's amazing for you. But, just juicing grapes and stuff the worst thing you can do with fatty liver is drink grape juice. It will kill your butt. Just saying. So that's what I do. If I was you, I would do a plant-based ketogenic diet. I would check my mouth, and then I will make sure that I eliminate toxicities and deficiencies. And how you do that is sunlight, magnetism, which is grounding your feet, at least 2 hours of sunlight a day, direct sunlight. Ground your feet for at least an hour a day on earth, so you can get that magnetism. You can bring in all of those electrons, and you can get rid of all of those protons, right? That's what I would do. Water intake. I would do H2O and H3O2 on the Geo'Genetic juice. And vegetable juice. That's what I would do. I wouldn't do high yielding fruit juices because I'm pretty sure if you have epilepsy, you dealing with fatty liver. You see that? I'll be around a lot of people that give me love and that believe in me straight up because you gonna need love and you gonna need light, red light therapy if you're not getting the sunlight. And when you're doing that and you eating that diet and you making sure you're getting 42 ounces of liquids, 42 to 50 ounces of liquids in your body and your own herbs. The herbs that I recommend you will get, which would be my Geo'Genetic Therapeutic Package Level 2. We put thousands up a week, but y'all, I promise you we sell thousands a week. So you got to really find them on there. I'm trying to expand my warehouse, but I was telling y'all yesterday, you got to let me learn my process of trusting others. This is my first time in a long time where I'm hiring people outside of my family. So it's kind of hard for me to just trust people in my warehouse with my business, with my secret ingredients and all types. It's just with my ratios because we put the ingredients on the package, but with my ratios. But I'm learning. So just give me a while and we'll be able to get more products out to y'all. But I mean, the world is sickly and y'all are supporting. So we sell out a whole lot, y'all. All right, so that's what I do for you. And if you want to come see me, you can actually book. Oh, and I want to show y'all this too. You now do not have to go through the website to book. You can go to my Google. Let me show y'all what that look like. Let me show y'all. Yahki. So all you got to do is Yahki. Look, Yahki birthday. How many wives do Yahki have? What is Yahki net worth? Look at what people be. Why is people Googling this about? What is Yahki net worth? Come look at this, Nabi, man. This will blow your mind looking at this stuff. Look, what is Yahki wife's name? Look at this crazy stuff. What is Yahki home address? Look, what is his wives? They want to know my net worth. Y'all are nosy, man. Why y'all so nosy? That is crazy. Y'all too nosy. So you're gonna go to Yahki Awakened Health Clinic, or Yahki Health Clinic, should I say. You're gonna put that right in there. Not now. Let's Google it. Let me share my screen with y'all. Nabi, why it ain't popping up though? Let me zoom in real. Okay, so when I do it, it ain't popping up though. Let me blow my screen all the way up. Maybe that's what it is. Ah, there it go right there. Boom. See? Right there. You click on it. Now look, y'all. When you Google Yahki Health Clinic, go over to the right. Y'all see this, the clinic. This is me, photos. Look, you can book. Boom, right here. It's right online now. You can go to my website. It take you directions here. You can write good reviews about me. Good reviews, y'all. Then you click on book online. Once you click book online, It'll take you to all of my consultation fees. Y'all see Dr. Yahki Health and Wellness Detoxification. It explains everything. You can book right through here, y'all. You can book right through here. So make sure y'all utilize that as well. All you got to do is Google Dr. Yahki Health Clinic. It'll pop right up, and it's actually quicker. And we have more availabilities on here than we actually have on the website. So we have way more availability. So you can jump on there and book right now. The website probably booked out right now, but that's a quicker way. We're working with a beautiful company that's working with us on that, and you can go straight through there to actually book a consultation. All right, let me see what else we got. What about mucus in the eyes? Charlie, whenever you got mucus in the eyes, that means you're glycating and you having a mucus response. Now, you got to remember what mucus is for. Mucus is a defense. Mucus is not the cause of disease at all. You only find mucus when mucus need to neutralize something, because when you check the contents of mucus, you're going to find copper, you're going to find calcium phosphate, you're going to find iron phosphate, and you're going to find magnesium. Not only that, you're going to find the mucus is a part of the cholesterol system, and mucus is a part of the lymphatic system. So you're going to find macrophages, you're going to find T cells, B cells, and NK cells inside of mucus as well, natural killer cells. So mucus come to cover an area to neutralize and to engulf cells. That's what they do. So if you got mucus in the eyes, that means that the sphenoids and the ethmoid cavities, you see that? You got the maxillary cavities, which is under here. You got the ethmoid cavity, which is right here. You got the sphenoid cavity, which is right behind your eyes. This is what you would call a reservoir tank. I call these a reservoir tank. So when this reservoir tank get built up because the body needs to keep reproducing mucus, usually it sits on the back of the optic nerve, and then it starts absorbing through the eyes. A lot of people don't understand that you have blurry vision because mucus is in your eyes. Your vision is not really blurred. It's the mucus. It's kind of like going underwater and trying to see through water. So you wearing all these prescriptions and these glasses and things like that. And that is literally like putting goggles on. When you put on prescription glasses, you're putting goggles on to see through this mucus film layer. But you can get this mucus film layer out by using eye bright. You can get an eye bright tincture. We sell them on the website. Cleanse your eyes through that. Or you can just go on a detoxification and drain your nasal passage. Drain the ethmoid, drain the sephmoid, drain that maxillary cavity. Like really drain those. And the only way to drain the brain is by moving the glymphatic system. The only way to move the glymphatic system is by moving the lymphatic system. So you have to move your lymph vessels. Now, the beautiful thing about the lymph is you have to manually move your lymph. See that? You don't have to manually move your blood because you got calf muscles that acts as a pump. You have your lungs that acts as a pump. You have the heart that acts as a valve mechanism, not a pump, but a valve mechanism. This is going to force blood throughout the body. But when we're talking about the lymphatic system, piezoelectricity, you have to manually create this spark to move that. And that's why movement, jump roping, walking from heel to toe walking. A lot of us don't walk perfectly when we were created to be perfect walkers. Ain't that crazy? Tennis shoes and I call them the soul snatchers because the rubber soles snatch your soul. But tennis shoes and the things that just we've been wearing for these last hundreds and hundreds of years have really messed up the way we walk. We used to be perfect walkers. Asking how to get mucus out of your eyes 200 years ago wasn't even a question because we kept that lymph moving because we were more walkers. Not only that, jump roping, super good. A vibrational plate will help move your lymphatic system. Deep diaphragmatic breathing because your cisternocali is right here. Your cisternocali is the biggest lymph node on your body other than your thymus gland, which is behind my hamza, the thymus gland. So, deep diaphragmatic breathing, eating fruits, eating vegetables, eating melons, eating nuts, eating seeds, staying away from meat, staying away from dairy products, staying away from processed foods and ultra-processed foods, getting in the sunlight, sweating, hot and cold showers, alternate hot and cold showers, cryotherapy, infrared medical grade sauna, which we have in our clinic. Everything I just mentioned, cold plunging, which is all in the clinic, y'all. Come check it out. It'll blow your mind. All these things manually move the lymphatic system. If you can drain the lymphatic system, and I showed y'all the pats. I showed you how to move the lymph. I showed y'all the pats. I showed you how to get behind the ears. I showed you how to pat these areas. Like just the first video I have on my YouTube page that I suggest have the lymphatic movement. And if I was you, I'd be doing that. Matter of fact, let me show y'all that. I'm just showing and telling today, ain't I not be? So if you look on my YouTube page, this is my YouTube page. Notice I have the verified check next to my name, Yahki Awakened. I have 401,000 followers. Look, I was a fat guy on here, but like, it's crazy looking at old videos and stuff of me. I'm like, damn, I did get back fat. But if you look, check this out. Y'all climb on in. Minerals, any unutilized amino. 4, and 5. I'm showing my nose finna start running already. I feel it. 7, 8, 9. I'm already feeling my mucous membrane getting activated. I'm already feeling my lymphatic system relieving peripheral pressure. Peripheral pressure from my cranial area. And then we already know we have something called the lymphatic system, where you have these lymphatic vessels inside the brain, along with cerebrospinal fluid channels that open up metabolic pathways and detoxification pathways where you can start draining. That's right. So look, just go to my YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe. Go to the YouTube and I show you how to move your lymph. That's how you do it. I have lymphatic tinctures. I have lymphatic capsules. I have lymphatic herbs. And then the beautiful thing about me is I don't gatekeep. My ingredients is on there. I tell y'all what my favorite lymphatic herb is all the time. Plantain. Plantain leaf is my favorite lymphatic herb. Cleaver's leaf is my favorite lymphatic herb. But it ain't going to work if you don't move. Movement. I have one of my biggest chapters in my book is talking about movement. Movement is life, y'all. If you don't move, you won't move the lymphatic system. A body in motion stays in motion. A body that's still is a dead body. Rigor mortis set in. Stiffness set in. Acidosis set in. Calcification, solidification set in. You have to move your body. Straight up. Oh, yeah. I like that one. The Awakened God said laughing it also helps. Yes, laughing. But think about it. When you have a deep diaphragmatic laugh, that diaphragmatic muscle is right on the, that's what massages the sternocleidomastoid. So I can, yes, laughter is life. So I agree on that too. I agree on that too. The Awakened God. What else we got? Yahki, please tell me. Got a Yahki, please. Hold on, where is that? Man, y'all got so many questions. They coming in fast. I mean, I can't even try to catch them. What can I do for uterine fibroids? I just had a very, very beautiful uterine cancer come in yesterday. Didn't we not be? One of the, look, the dopest, I'm going to try to post it tonight. I'm going to see if Jay can get it out tonight. She came in, she did a testimony. Man, they put her to sleep, y'all, and she was asleep 17 hours. They couldn't wake her up because of the anesthesia, right? She was in her conscious mind outside of her body. She heard everything the doctors was talking about while she was put to sleep. She found out that she had uterine reproductive cancer. It was a very, very aggressive one. We put her on the bitters. We put her on the Geo'Genetic tool. We put her on a beautiful fruit diet. A fruit diet, y'all. She did everything we told her to do, and guess what? She healed her body, cancer-free. She now owns a vegan restaurant, a moving vegan truck, and is getting a vegan restaurant. It's called Breathing Vegan out of Michigan. Do you remember the city? Well, look, we posting. Yeah, Indiana. Yeah, she right outside of Indiana, and her company is called Breathing Vegan. So if y'all know who we talking about, shouts out to her. Beautiful, beautiful lady. She got a beautiful husband. Her husband was healed of erectile dysfunction, high blood pressure, all types of stuff. But this is what I'm saying. Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. We ain't on here talking about surgery. We ain't on here claiming to be medical physicians, claiming to sell pharmaceuticals. I'm not claiming to be none of that. I'm a natural healer. I'm a doctorate because I got a doctorate degree. We have a clinic that's medicineless. We offer you therapies. We offer you elements of that God created, and we're seeing that these aggressive cancers, we seeing that what they're calling incurable, people are healing themselves just from the information and following regimens. So, and that's why I don't believe in disease. So if you got herpes and they say it's incurable, yes, it's incurable. But if you have what you would call a viral load that's started by parasites, we can get rid of the parasites and we can flush the viral load out. If you say you got an incurable cancer, I don't heal cancer. That's their disease. They got a patent on their word. But if the body's having a detoxification mechanism and it done created a cyst, It done created a boil. It done created a tumor to nest these toxins, and then a parasite then came inside of there and laid its eggs because it's helping eating all of these irons and all of these toxemias. I can get rid of that. I'm gonna move your lymphatic system. I'm gonna kill the parasite. We're gonna get rid of the unregulated minerals, and then boom, you don't have that no more. Now, if you go back to the doctor and they say you cancer free, that's on them. That's what they said. I don't heal cancer. I don't believe in cancer. You see that? Diabetes. What's diabetes? Oh, your pancreas, you suffering from pancreatic fluke worm? Okay, I can get rid of that fluke worms. Now, if you go back to the doctor and they say that you don't have diabetes no more, oh, that's on them. So these cancer healing testimonies, these herpes healing testimonies, these diabetes 1 and 2 healing testimonies, the multiple sclerosis healing testimonies, everything that people are coming here for, we not treating them for that. We treat them for energy, deficiency, and toxicity. Once they feel better, they go back to the very doctor that diagnosed them with the disease, and then it's the doctors that saying they don't have this stuff no more. It's not me. It's not me at all. I don't claim to heal. I don't own none of these diseases. I don't own none of these words. I don't even believe in them. I believe that the body is trying to heal itself, creating symptomologies. These symptomologies are detoxification symptoms. And if you don't help the body detox, then you become more intoxicated. And that toxicity brings on deficiency. That deficiency brings on adaptation. That adaptation brings on mutations. Those mutations brings on these congestive cells, and then the cells die. So I'm just here to plumb and unclog you, and then to flush your body with minerals. So what can I do for uterine fibroids? First thing you have to do is you're going to have to check your hormones. You need to check your lipid panel. You need to check your hormones, your cholesterol. Your cholesterol is in control of your sexual hormones, your progesterone, your pregnenolone, your estrogen, your testosterone. It sounds like that you are too abundant in estrogen and you need more pregnenolone. So first thing I would do is check your teeth, check your mouth. Always check your mouth first. Make sure you don't have any caries. Make sure you don't have any cavities, cavitations. Make sure you don't have any metals. Make sure you have porcelain in your mouth. Once you fix that, then what we can do is we can fix the heavy metal problems. I'm pretty sure you got heavy metal. We'll do a heavy metal detox on you. And then while we're doing a heavy metal detox, I'm going to automatically deworm you. I'm going to put you on fruits and vegetables that's low in estrogen, the same way we would do a triple negative breast cancer that's HER2 positive that suffered from estrogen overload. And that's what's growing the cancer. I'm going to put you on the same diet like we dealing with that. I'm going to teach you how to move your lymphatic system. I'm going to tell you to go outside, get in the elements, ground, get in the sunlight for 2 hours a day. Make sure you bring it in 45 to 50 ounces of liquid intake a day. And if you don't have fatty liver, go the juice route. Make sure that you're not eating out of plastic containers. Make sure that you're not heating up plastic containers. Make sure you're not drinking out of plastic bottles, because microplastics, the body do not know the difference between estrogen and microplastics. It thinks it's all the same. And then what you would see and what you would notice is fibroids go away. Fibroids go away. You see what I hope y'all really getting what I'm saying. Hope y'all really get what I'm saying. But if you wanted the herbs, we'll tell you to go to the website. You got uterine fibroids. I would ask you how big they is, based off how big they is, how long they've been in their body, if you're losing a lot of iron because of it. Now, this is a case where you can truly be iron anemic, because you having heavy menstrual cycles and you getting rid of a lot of iron phosphate during your bleeding cycles. And I will put you on iron phosphate regimen. So, Geo'Genetic level 2. That's what I would tell you. Who else we got? Bro, holla at Boosie. I done hollered at Boosie, man. We done talked to Boosie several times. Boosie is Boosie. Boosie got my number. Boosie can hit me up whenever he want. He know how to get in contact with me. He done got in contact with me several times. Shouts out to Boosie. Love you, brother. You know you crazy though, right? We got a kidney failure on here. I'm gonna ask you with your kidney failure, or you on dialysis? Is you on dialysis? Not only that, what is your GFR rate? What is your Bun's number? What is your creatinine Bun's ratio? You see what I'm saying? What's your kidney functionality? Or is you in kidney failure 5? You in 4? You in 3? Do they have you on a limited phosphorus diet? Do they got you on a minimum or restricted potassium and magnesium intake? When it comes to liver failure, it takes so much for me to be able to tell you what to do. Is the kidney scarred? How far is the scar tissue? Are you still able to urine? See, all these matter. And then I can tell you what to do. I think the best thing for you to do, Kelly, I think you need to go on my Google what I told you to do, or go to my website and visit clinic and book a consultation, and we'll take good care of you. We have a bunch of kidney failure healing testimonies. I just posted one not even 2 weeks ago, so make sure you go check that out. All right, excessive vomiting, Jay Childs, excessive vomiting and hiccups. I can tell you right now, you have a vagus nerve compromise. Your 10th cranial nerve, your vagus nerve, is compromised. You're in a state of fight or flight. You need to fix the vagus nerve, and you need to check your liver, because it sounds like you're building up too much methane, and I bet you your bacteria, your microbiome, and your glycobiome and your glycocalyx is compromised. So if I was you, I will find a very, very good probiotic, a very good probiotic. Make sure it has all several strands of it. Make sure it has bifidobacteria, lactobacillus, at least 3 different strands of lactobacillus. I will make sure that I will be taking some form of colostrum, the best form of colostrum that you can take outside of your mother's milk, because we all grown. We can't be sucking on our mother's tits. So what I would do, I would drink coconut milk and coconut water that is full of what you would call monosodium lauric acid. And that is that's colostrum straight from the coconut. So I do that. I make sure that I'm not mouth breathing at night. You probably need to tape your mouth at night. Well, you vomiting, so you don't want to do that. That's a bad idea, because especially if you vomiting while you sleep, then you can choke. If you didn't have the vomit problem, I would say mouth tape at night, but you do, so don't do that. And you need to relax the vagus nerve. There's many vagus nerve exercises that you can do. If I was you, I'll go on YouTube and type in vagus nerve exercises to truly, truly relax that vagus nerve. But sometimes it can be relaxed too much, and that might be the case in this case. But I don't know until we truly get you in the clinic and check you out. So come see me. And something like this, since I don't know the details, I wouldn't even offer you herbs or a diet until I see you. So I think, Jay, you need to come see me. Come check me out. Panic attack disorder. That sounds like thyroid. Thyroid. You're having panic attacks. That's the thyroid and the parathyroid. You're not utilizing calcium and calcitonin right. And it sounds like that you are iodine deficient. And not only are you iodine deficient, but you're also deficient in the thyroid protein, thyroglobulin. So what I would do for you is, I think that you need to get on a salt regimen, and you need to regulate your actual adrenal glands. It sounds like that you are adrenal dumping too much. Your adrenals is dumping. You're getting high cortisol in the blood, which is putting you in a state of fight or flight, and you are panicking because you're fighting for your life and you don't know why. So you need to learn breathing techniques. The best breathing technique you can do is box breathing, where you will breathe in for 4 seconds by Mississippi. You will hold for 4 seconds by Mississippi. Then you will exhale for 4 seconds by Mississippi. And you will continue that until you regulate your heart. I was on the plane the last time we was coming from Miami. I'm on the plane. Had a full-blown panic attack. My mouth was hurting. I'm mad. I'm like, man, I ain't know it's going to be like this. I can't eat nothing. I'm just on the plane just being a complainer. I bet God was like, if you don't shut up. I'm on the plane complaining in my head, not out loud. And I worked myself up so much. I'm on a plane for 2 hours. I'm ready to get off the plane. I feel like I'm just in a sardine can. I mean, look, I had a full-blown panic attack. The only thing that can calm me down was breathing. Not even talking to myself calm me down. I just had to literally, I did that for like 20 minutes, and my heart rate regulated itself. I know for a fact my BPN, my blood pressure number, went down. My systolic, my diastolic regulated. I dilated my blood vessels, and I was cool. So you need to focus on box breathing. Not only that, you got a copper deficiency, and you deficient in iodine, and you deficient in the thyroid protein. So get on a sea salt regimen. What I would do is, every rising I wake up, I would take a pinch of sea salt, a Celtic salt, and I'll put it in 4 ounces of water, and I'll drink that down. If you can get on a magnesium citrate, I'll do that as well. but you just sound like you need to calm down and you're very mineral deficient. You start seeing panic attacks and high anxiety in mineral deficient people, and it's usually directly correlated with the thyroid. So you need to get a thyroid, a full thyroid panel, metabolic panel, and check your T3, check your T4, your free T4, your free T3, your TSH. You need to check all of those levels and see which one is out of whack. And from there, I can tell you exactly what you need to do. But for this one, I can tell you the Essential Glandular Kit off the website under Kits and Bundles. The Essential Glandular Kit off the website under Kits and Bundles. And down to the bottom right, y'all see the website, www.YahkiAwakened.com. Hopefully tomorrow, the warehouse will talk to the tech, and tech will be able to give a new inventory. But look, y'all got to be on there, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, as soon as we upload, y'all buy it. All right, so what I want to do is tomorrow I'm going to be pretty busy at the clinic. We got probably about 10 people to see. But if time permits, I want to bring somebody in randomly from the comment board. We can bring them up on video, and I'll give y'all a 15-minute consultation. Matter of fact, we'll do 2 of them. We'll do a 15-minute consultation. If I don't do it tomorrow, I want y'all to quote me on it. When we leaving, I do it Thursday. Okay, so if I don't do it tomorrow, I will do it Thursday. I'll go live, and anybody that come in, we'll get their email, we'll send them the link, and we'll pull them in, and we'll do a 15-minute consultation. Yes, skinny fat is true. You can be skinny but have fat organs. And that's always fatty liver, and it's always a diabetic issue too. So you have to watch your sugar. And then if y'all can, on this comment board, please, I appreciate y'all on all the comment boards. Let me know where you from. And not only that, let me know what y'all want me to discuss. Any topic. Y'all know I'm very, very well-rounded when it comes to any thing to do with health and wellness. So just check the comment board. Let me know where you from, rep your city, and put a topic that you want me to talk about. And the more I see that, the more that we can talk about it, okay? And we finna start doing more presentations like I used to. Look, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I've been down for a minute. I'm comfortable enough to talk, even though I still sound kind of crazy sometimes with these big old temps in my mouth. But look, everything is going good. Everything is healing. I'm feeling good. Been a little frustrated, but I'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? Look, peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I love y'all. www.YahkiAwakened.com. Book your consultation or get your herbs, or you can simply Google me at Dr. Yahki Clinic. You will know it's mine because it got all of my information I showed y'all. AI. If you see AI videos, family, report them. Get in the comment board. Let them know that this is wrong and they are lying to people. A lot of people are not getting their orders. If you see a channel of mine that do not have a verified check other than the one I showed you, report them. They are impersonating me. They're lying to y'all. I will never, ever, ever ask you for money outside of my website unless you face-to-face with me in my clinic and you paying through the kiosk. If they asking you for money, and you not in this clinic and it's not through the website, it is not me, family. And don't be cussing me out, and don't be coming finding the right number and leaving bad reviews because you got scammed. All right, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm gonna try my hardest to go live tomorrow. If not, I'll for sure be live Thursday. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the guys, peace to the earth. Peace. Make sure you leave the comments. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. We're going to start doing dope presentations again. We uploading the events on events.com tonight. Book your ticket. We in San Diego. We in Sacramento. We in Detroit, and we in Atlanta. So I'm going to post all of that stuff tonight, and I'll see y'all soon. Blessings to y'all, family. Oh, man, I forgot my intro. Hey, look, I got a healing intro song. I'm going to play that when I go live again. Shouts out to Spaceman, man. Spaceman created me a dope Dr. Yahki Awakened healing intro. So I'm going to start playing that when I'm coming in and leaving out. All right, blessings to y'all, family. Peace.